maintain your feeling that Oleksandr Usyk is an average southpaw?
Is this causing that much grief? I keep having the same argument. Who was ahead on points up to that point? Who was ahead on points between the two of them when they fought? And I've given you three fighters that when you think of southpaws, you think, damn. Whitaker, Naz, Manny Pacquiao. You look at the style these guys fought, they are so unpredictable, so hard to pin down. Usyk's a good fighter, come on. Still
great, surely.
Good fighter. But, you know, with the likes of Tyson Fury beating, I believe so. Is it an impossible win for Anthony Joshua? No, it's not. I think Usyk is going to earn his stripes, and he's going to have to fight for that recognition and respect from the world. He's a brilliant fighter. But I am not going to get carried away with the sheet and say, no, he's that. I'm not going to do that. I say what I say.
Booking.com helps you.
And those are the words of Johnny Nelson, as Johnny Nelson states that Oleksandr Usyk's good, but he's not great. Let me counterpunch. I know Johnny got a lot of stick for calling Oleksandr Usyk an average fighter, and I don't know if that was before or after the Anthony Joshua fight, but I do know that Johnny feels that he's an average southpaw. Now, let me counterpunch, okay? Johnny was referring to the best southpaws of all time, the ones that you think about, Pernell Whitaker and Manny Pacquiao, you know, and those guys. He said Prince Asim Ahmed. I wouldn't even really look at him like as one of the greats because, for one, he didn't fight enough. You know, he didn't fight. He fought Barrera and he came up short. He knocked out Kevin Kelly when he came over here, so he did make his recognition known from the UK and the bombs that he had. You know, he had some good wins, but then as soon as he got beat, he was out of there. So I wouldn't even really include Prince Asim Ahmed, me personally. But is when he referred to Pernell Whitaker, definitely outstanding southpaw. Manny Pacquiao, 8 division world champion, of course, Hall of Famer, outstanding southpaw, okay? But what's the real difference between those guys? Okay, when we're looking at Pernell Whitaker, Manny Pacquiao, then we talk about Usyk. What's the difference? I mean, besides those guys retiring, and God bless the dead for Pernell is no longer here, but what's the difference? The difference is those guys have already did what they've done to make their claim. Okay? Oleksandr Usyk has not. And I think it's fair to say, if I was Johnny, I would say this. I would have the type of mind like, well, he's not, or he hasn't proven to be outstanding yet until he fights these guys. You know, but so I think it's a little bit of bias being a UK or a British fighter or from Britain. I think that's the case because, you know, him saying, well, hey, Tyson Fury's also a southpaw and I think Tyson Fury will beat him. Okay, well, that's his opinion. But then Anthony Joshua could beat him too. Well, that remains to be seen because he's already beat Anthony Joshua. So, you know, and on top of that, beat all these other guys. Then I think it's fair to say we can see if he's outstanding or not. You know, but he did agree that Oleksandr Usyk is the best southpaw out there now. Okay, and let me add something else to this. Okay, being an average fighter is shooting Usyk too low. He did say good. He's good. He's good. He's not stupid. He said that. You know, so he did kind of patch that up a bit. However, when you're looking at average, calling Oleksandr Usyk average is like calling I would say Holyfield average. You know, while he just came on to the scene. But here's the thing. Average is this. This is average, okay? I'm going to tell you what an average is. Otto Wallin is average. That's average. He is an average southpaw, not Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk is above average, extraordinary. Outstanding, I don't know. That remains to be seen. So, but I could say that for each and every person. I could say that for Tyson Fury because he hasn't fought Usyk. He hasn't fought Joshua. So these guys just throwing Tyson is just this thing, is just this title. Okay, well, I mean, that's well and good and all, but based on what? Fighting Deontay Wilder? You know, if Deontay Wilder at least would have done more in his career than beat up old-ass Ortiz, we could argue that Tyson Fury is outstanding or the best around due to the fact of who he beat, because he beat the man that beat everybody else. Not the man that you say beat everybody else or you feel or think beat everybody else, but the dude that actually did it. Okay, so I think that's what we need to deal with when we're talking about Oleksandr Usyk and these fighters that have not been tested. Okay, so with Oleksandr Usyk doing all he's done and he's beat everybody that he's with, regardless of how he was down below points. You've never seen a situation where Oleksandr Usyk was like, I think Oleksandr Usyk lost that fight. You know what I mean? So we never had any Canelo type decisions here with Oleksandr Usyk. That's the difference. Okay? We didn't have any draws or any of that shit either. So we had nothing questionable. We had nothing like that. Okay? So again, Johnny Nelson, I think he is a guy that's expecting more from Oleksandr Usyk, or unless I am, but I'm expecting more from all these fighters in the heavyweight division. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Johnny Nelson stating, standing on a hill, that Oleksandr Usyk is still an average fighter. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!